regarding Metaverse land, I think it's kind of an interesting thing. Like we own Metaverse parcels, both as BitElectro. I own some personally. And it's kind of funny in a sort of post-scarcity digital world where we're now imposing scarcity upon some of these digital environments. I'm both for it and against it. Like I do think having some ownership and the marketplaces around a lot of what's going on in Web3 are what have allowed it to thrive, while at the same time we also want to reduce barriers to entry and onboard new users. Well, if there's a high cost to do anything within some of these metaverses, then well, it's going to be massive point of friction or pain point in onboarding the next 100,000 or million users, for example. We know we're still sub 1 million in terms of total OpenSea user accounts, right? So there are metaverses allow users to build, right? Like without owning any land. Like when we're seeing a lot of models that are playing with that idea that, oh, we have a metaverse, it's Web3 integrated. You have maybe avatars that are NFTs, but by the way, we're going to give you your own little island to build within, right? Like Nifty Island is a great example of this. Isotile is a great example of this. What's the other one? Monaverse is also free. So there are alternatives that are free. I do question how these things scale also, though. Like that's another way that these businesses are monetizing their development is through land sales. So then they can build you these awesome experiences like we've seen with the Sandbox Alpha, for example. So there's trade-offs there in providing a free platform versus capitalizing your business through land sales and then onboarding your users with your coffers that are now, fully flush in order to properly market and have sales channels. So that's my take.
Yeah, I kind of side on the same thing where I keep reading these stories about when CryptoVoxel's parcels were like $70. And maybe that came down to the point of also Ethereum's pricing was way lower at that point as well. But now, like me personally, I own a couple parcels in CryptoVoxels and I like holding those. But do they also cost more than my car now? Yes, which is, a crazy thing to think about. So I think at the end of it, I like the tools like Isotile, like platforms like that, where it's free to start and then you can kind of pay a little bit to increase your space, like as much as you desire. I think that that's a really fun model because it gets the user in at the beginning for free and you can hang up, let's say, 20 of your NFTs. And if you want to, get 40, let's expand your space, which is a separate NFT, and it costs 0.03 or something like that, right? So it's a pretty small cost. So I think that is a nice way to kind of like dip your toes into it. Like that's kind of what I recommend for people who are just getting started and they want to display their NFTs that they're picking up. That's a great way to do it. Regrettably too is like I'm not much of a builder. I'm not much of like a creative in that sense. So something that I struggle with CryptoVoxels is building. Right now my parcels are empty and I know I should sit down one day and really teach myself how to hang up the walls I want to do and build this stage and platform that I want, and I just haven't put the time in yet to do that. So that's not necessarily about land sales, but that's just something else that I want to learn and kind of be a part of.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think the ape land sale as well is kind of the inflection point for me where it's adding a lot more supply and we're not in that euphoria of adding new users. So I wonder like
Sure.
all of these land pieces with these metaverses, like you're just dumping supply onto the market, how that affects each other within this ecosystem.